Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and today I'm just doing sort of my story time. Hang out with me, draw with me, grab a sketchbook, let's get illustrating. I went to do this like 20 minutes ago and the battery was dead. So my ever-growing list of things that I actually need to buy in 2023 is probably a battery that can hold a charge. Because I'm thinking about this one now, and I think this one is, I've never replaced it, so it's at least a decade old. And I used to be able to go about a week and a half between charges, and that was like back in June. And then at some point it became weekly. And now I'm afraid it's not even doing that. Oh, you can do it. Anyway, how is your Thursday? Friday is almost here. That is wonderful news for some people. I'm doing sort of a snow leopard raccoon. It's another animal mashup. I enjoy doing these. These are a lot of fun. Anyway, on my Instagram, I put together all the prompt lists I could find for the February drawing challenge. And I'll link it in here, and then I'll link it to my February drawing challenge video. That's taking a while for me to put those together. Oh, so I use Illustrator, Photoshop, and then Microsoft Word to get all those lists, smush them together. There's so many different constraints within Instagram, so you're limited to, 10 pictures per post, and then you can only have like 50 hashtags and things that you... Oh, and I go over when I do those, when I put the prompt lists together that people have put together, so everybody can see it sort of in one available spot. I hit the limits. So I started working on it last night because the one I did for January, I did it all kind of in one fell swoop, and I was like, oh, this is a lot. This is so time consuming doing it all at once. So I started last night and I spent about an hour and a half putting everything together and organizing it. And then today, this afternoon, I got together and I was like, oh, I'm finishing this. I don't want to think about it anymore. So the best way to do that is just to finish it up. And I spent another hour. So it took 2.5 hours. And I divided it into 3 parts. So there's about 15 prompt lists per post. And then I pulled out all the hand lettering ones. There was only about 4. And for some reason, hand lettering prompts go out like the day of the month starting, so there's really not a lot of time to prep and prepare. And maybe it's just because people are sort of just writing a specific word or something, but I think it's so nice to give people a couple days heads up. I'll put some in my feed and story as February starts happening and more start popping up, because there's a lot more options than there used to be for the month of February in drawing. Like Fossil February. That one sounds kind of cool. I really, really dig dinosaurs. I think dinosaurs are so awesome. There's one that's sort of like mushroom characters, but in like a weekly theme, and that one sounds kind of hilarious. But this one, there's only a couple days left in the month, but I'm easily going to go to probably January 6th with this. So I have to decide if I'm going to overlap this project with something February themed, or if I'm just going to work on this and then finish up something else I need to finish up. I don't know. I can't decide. There's a book I want to illustrate and create and put out into the world. And I've had this idea since 2018. I was actually driving, picking the kids up from school, and it kind of hit me that there's a thing that should exist that doesn't exist. And I told my husband, and he's like, that's wild, make that a book. And I was like, I totally should. But it's sort of one of those things where I think the illustrations would be like one a month. Like it wouldn't be a quick thing. And then I probably wouldn't be able to do drawing challenges like I'm doing. So I need to figure out how to work that in and dedicate a year to doing this book I want to illustrate, because I think it's a cool idea. Publishers may disagree. I don't know. You don't have to, when you submit illustrations for a publisher, you don't have to have all of them done. So just sort of a couple samples of what the style and the theme is going to look like, especially if you're writing it too. Like if you don't have an illustration agent or something, they just want to see the overall theme and how they could sort of promote it, and if it's something that is sort of similar to other things that they publish, like if that style and topic would work for them. But most of the time you don't hear back, so you'll submit something to a publisher, and if they don't like it, they don't say anything. So you don't really get a ton of rejection letters. That's all right. Folks are busy. But I don't know. Basically, I don't know what I'm doing for February, so I'm going to ask you what you're doing for February. It seems to be that there's a lot of the prompts are kind of weekly or every other day for February, because February is pretty quick, you know, it's only a 28-day month, so I would say weekly would be nice, and especially if you're into like sculpture or pottery, it can be really, really hard to do things every single day for a creator challenge, and so weekly might be more creator friendly, especially with folks being busy and stuff. But lots of love themes. Figuary, where the figure drawing would be fun too. I actually took that class in college, figure drawing, and we watched the videos from Dr. Gray's Anatomy videos, and learned about all the anatomy. It was fascinating. But yeah, that was a quick class. I don't remember that ever being too time intensive. There were anatomy tests where you had to identify on a sheet. But I had done that, I had a different illustration class that had sort of anatomy identification, so I'd already studied it. That makes when you overlap classes like that, sometimes it helps. Anyway, different noses, different eyes. I did one of these mashups that was a part tiger, part lion, and you can see the very subtle differences between like a lion nose and a lion eye versus a tiger's nose and eye. And between all the big cats, there's quite a few little subtleties of angles of eyes and thickness of nose. That's pretty fascinating too. Anyway, this video is going to go up kind of late. I apologize for that. Thursdays are just wild, you know? But some days are just like that. Anyway, what are you creating or working on? Or do you have an idea for something you would like to see in existence in the world? I'm just having fun doodling. That's where I'm at. But I started to panic as I was looking at the length of this pencil, and like, this is a whole pencil, and I've only been using this one for 9 days. So I'm like, this is the only dark green I have to get me through the entire year. I could be in trouble. Oh man, plus I need to spray these. I have this down to protect transfer, but I need to use my pencil spray fixative. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.